everybody, and welcome back to the HabWrap. I'm your host, Harry Rice. You are listening to the friendliest and funniest source for anything and everything Montreal Canadiens. And oh boy, Game 3 of the first round, Montreal and Tampa in Montreal on a Friday night. You gotta love it. We are, of course, going to talk about the game. Before we do, very quick shout out to Cole Caulfield's article he wrote for the Players Tribune. I read that last night. Very, very good read. I'm not going to say anything about what was in it. I just think you should go and give it a read. If I remember, which I probably won't, but if I remember, I'll put a link in the description. Please go check it out. So the game tonight, Montreal and Tampa in Montreal. The first playoff game in Montreal of the season. And just quick spoiler, they did not disappoint. Alright, before we get into anything regarding the stats or my thoughts on the game, we gotta talk about the lines, because obviously you can't have a hockey game without lines. Shout out Evgeny Kuznetsov. Alright, the opening lines for the Canadiens were Caulfield, Suzuki, Slafkovsky, Evans, Danault, Anderson, Newhook, Kapanen, Davidoff, Texier, Dach, Bolduc. That's right, the second line was reunited just now on the Canadiens' third line. Technically, third line. I think they still got second line minutes. And Dach and Bolduc with Texier. Spoiler, they played very well tonight. Don't be surprised when these exact same lines are used for Game 4 on Sunday. On the blue line, it's Gooley, Hutson, Matheson, Carrier, and Struble, Engstrom. During warm-ups, Struble, Jackeye. Sorry, my mistake. I jumped the gun a little bit. In warm-ups, Engstrom was skating, so we thought he might have gotten into the lineup, but no, he would not. He didn't. He was just skating to be skating. So, yeah, surprisingly, no Engstrom, but thankfully no Engstrom because it means that nobody is hurt. Jakub Dobeš gets the start net for the Canadiens, and Jacob Fowler continues to back him up. The opening lines for the Lightning were Goncalves, Point, Kucherov, Hagel, Cirelli, Gensel, Girgensons, Gord, Paul, and Perry, James Sabrin. So the Lightning continue to be cowards and not do the gee line as we want them to. I want them to. They're not going to, but we can only hope. On the blue line for them, it's Moser, Radish, McDonough, Chernak, and Carlisle Lilleberg. Andre Vasilevsky obviously gets the start net for the Lightning, and Jonas Johansson continues to warm the bench. Before the game, Tampa had dubbed themselves villains, which means they're going to go headhunting, going to target the stars, and refuse to drop the gloves when challenged. They did one of those three things, and I will give you a very small hint. It was not headhunting, and it was not targeting the stars. All right, so technically also before the game, but just my thoughts going into the game. Playoff hockey in Montreal with 7 exclamation marks afterwards. 30 minutes before the game. That's how hype I was. I don't watch the pregame stuff usually. I was watching the pregame before the pregame. But 30 minutes before the game, everyone is outside the Bell Center. They are ready for a party. There's a ton of porta potties apparently being used, which I thought was super fun. Or not porta potties being used, but just there are a ton of porta potties in the vicinity being brought in, which I thought was so fun that it's like, okay, people gotta take shits. You gotta understand that they need those, and thankfully they did. Before the game still, Yvon Cormier bringing out the torch. That is awesome. Habs fans cheering as soon as they see the jersey. Just a great pregame celebration. They set Yvon Cormier on fire, which I don't know how I feel about that, but you know what? Aside from that, very damn cool pregame stuff. Of course, they light the ice on fire with the on-ice graphics. The entire building essentially on fire. That's really, really awesome. I love the visual of that. Ole chants before the team even touches the ice. Loudest building in the fucking league. I don't care who you are, what team you cheer for. You cannot be delusional enough to think Montreal isn't the greatest building in the National Hockey League because we know how to party. We know, we know how to do shit right. When we come to the playoffs, we don't come to get swept in 4 games. We don't come and just sit there quietly. No, we go out of our way to let you know we're here. We're excited about that. So, yeah, love to see it. And now we finally get to notes during the game. Kucherov and Hagel booed immediately. Anderson has a good hit. Jackeye with a big hit at center. Newhook has speed. Newhook with speed has a shot that goes off the shoulder of Vasilevsky. Dobesh makes a good save on Cirelli in the slot with the pad. Gooley gets hit from behind at the boards. There's no call because why would there be? The Habs press, as I put in all caps, Carrier. Don't know why specifically his name went to all caps, but sure. But Carrier's looking for a man. He takes a shot that gets deflected out of play. And we score! 4:53 into the game. Alex Texier. Yeah, if you took him for the opening goal scorer, you probably made a good bit of money. He makes it 1-0 off of a rush. Just wrists it past Vasilevsky. And the Bell Center erupts. Unfortunately, I don't think Game 4 will be played in the Bell Center because they need to install a new roof in that goddamn place. But Texier gives the Canadiens their first lead of the night. Bolduc and Dach with the assist. Kirby Dach, who, of course, I mentioned last review, horrible icing. I might not have mentioned the icing, but a horrible effort on the overtime goal. Some fans went way too far, sending him death threats to the point that he and his girlfriend both had to deactivate their social media. I believe it was Instagram specifically that they had to, they ended up taking offline. And another spoiler, this might be the shortest redemption arc in hockey history. That's all I'm going to say. So yeah, Dach with the secondary assist, you love to see it. Kirby Dach gets his name on the score sheet, as does Zach Bolduc, and as does Alex Texier. All 3 of those guys, their first points in the playoffs. Love to see it. Habs press right away. They want to make it 2-0 very quickly, which ironically is the score, as I'm recording this, that Utah is up on Vegas. I hope that score holds, because that'd be really fun for someone to comment, Harry, the score held through the whole game. Yeah, oh yeah, let's go. But yeah, it's the Habs looking for the 2-0 lead, like I said. Slav has a pass to Caulfield, trying to find someone in the slot, just not able to. Caulfield then gets pushed into the net from behind. That stops play. Kirby chants. Love to see it. Love the support the Bell Center was giving Dach tonight. During warm-ups, at one point they had showed Dach on the Jumbotron, and the fans went wild. They started cheering for him. You know, absolutely love the support that the Canadiens fan base are giving Dach after it went too far. You know, I think criticizing him for the play was very valid. Going too far, though, you probably shouldn't do that. In most situations, you should not be going too far. It's a fucking game. Like, come on. And then we end up getting some 4-on-4. We get the signal with the, just hand in a circle or finger pointing down in a circle. Nope. Habs go to the penalty kill. Dobesh gets called 2 for a trip from behind the net. That sucks. The Habs clear right away. Kucherov has a shot blocked. And again, that happens. Evans gets the clear. Fans mercilessly booing Kucherov. Rightfully so. He is probably the biggest bitch in the NHL. We will mention him later on, and in a very nice way, believe you me. Dobesh makes a good save off a bouncer from the boards. And then they score. Point ties it. He's left all alone in the slot. Matheson getting way too aggressive, going after the forward. That leaves Newhook to try and cover for him, but he's a bit too late, realizing he has to. Point with his first goal, and I believe first point as a whole in the playoffs this year. He scores from Gensel and Kucherov to tie the game up at 7:42. Unfortunately, the Habs 0 for 1 on the penalty kill tonight. Would that become a trend? Well, calm down. You'll find out. Jesus. Vasi, casual playing the puck behind the net. He gets caught. Habs almost get it in the net, but unfortunately Vasi gets back in time. And then the Canadiens go to the penalty kill. Dach gets called for a phantom trip at 8 minutes. Matheson clears off the draw. Evans can't clear. Carrier's clear is then held in. Habs then finally clear off of a good save by Dobeš on Brandon Hagel. Kucherov ends up bobbling one, and you got it right. Danault clears. Perry has a slapper that gets saved, and the Habs end up 1 for 2 on the penalty kill. Hutson gets tripped up, and the fans let the refs have it. And then the Habs go to the power play with 7:37 left. Okay, so I think I meant that happened 8 minutes in. Wait, 7:30. There's no way. Did that really? No, we couldn't have gone to the... Okay, I think I meant we went to the penalty kill. There's no way that I wouldn't have taken many more notes in, 9 minutes. So I assume I messed up somewhere. We look at the penalty sheet. Dach, I guess not really. No, it just messed up. So 8-12, Dach takes the penalty. Kucherov takes it with 7:37 left. I only missed, if anything, 2 minutes where there wasn't anything happening. So, don't you love when you end up confusing yourself? It's just great. So the Canadiens go to power play with 7:37 left. Kucherov gets called too for a trip. It was a borderline slew foot in my opinion. Lightning clear. Habs can't get set up. Gord goes shorthanded. He ends up killing some good time off. The second unit comes out with 50 seconds left. Bolduc hits the post. Damn it. And then Matheson goes offside because of course he does. Habs are 0 for 1 on the power play tonight. Habs cause a turnover. Evans has a chance that gets stopped. Anderson then fires one just wide. The top line press. Dach's line goes out. Xhekaj with a hard shot saved. Xhekaj played a very good game in my opinion tonight. I very much noticed Arber Xhekaj a lot. Jumping up in some rushes, creating some offense. We will notice him again on the offensively a little while later. Spoiler, but yeah, physically, obviously, he was a very good big presence. I liked Arber Xhekaj's game tonight, and I think that this series is kind of solidifying him, probably as the number 6 going forward. I think no matter what, the Canadiens are gonna have to go out of their way to find a spot for Xhekaj in the lineup. I think it's clear that the Canadiens are playing very well with Arber Xhekaj, probably much better than they would be without him in the lineup. Not to say that he's the reason that we win game 1 or, potentially end up winning tonight. But just, Xhekaj is just one of the 20 pieces of the puzzle on this team. It just so happens that his piece helps a little bit with momentum, you should say. Dach ends up hitting the post. God damn it, that would have been awesome to see him get a goal tonight. It's a shame. The Lightning press, there's a shot blocked out of play with 50 seconds left. And the Habs go to the penalty kill with 48 seconds left. Matheson gets called for a hook. That is just a pure lazy play by Mike Matheson, but we should be used to that by now. There's a battle along the boards, and Carrier slaps it all the way down. Lightning come in offside. The Habs clear off the boards. So the shots are 7-6 for the Canadiens. It's a 1-1 tie game after the first period. Tampa will have 1:10 left of power play time to begin the second period. In said second period, the Habs clear off the draw. Danault then clears, and the Habs kill it off. The Habs now 2 for 3 on the penalty kill. So, good start. Just got to make sure you keep that up. Slav has a rush, but the shot gets deflected out of play. Lightning press. Dobeš has a save up high. Bolduc comes in offside on a near rush. They send it all the way back down because why would they? Xhekaj has a good hit on a member of the Lightning, but his stick comes up and gets Demidov across the bridge of his nose. Weirdly, not the only time you'll see someone bleeding from the bridge of their nose tonight. Kind of strange, but we'll talk about that more later on. Gensel misses a wide open net. Moser has a shot blockered away. A little bit of rough stuff on James after he gets a bit too close to Dobeš. Sabrin then hits Evans in the numbers. There's no call. Anderson then gets tripped up. It looks like a knee on knee, but it's a hit on the Canadiens. Why would that ever be illegal? That's not a penalty at all. And then it's 2-1 Tampa. Jakub Dobeš really is going to want this one back. A really, really weak goal, unfortunately. He scores with 4:47 into the second period. Unassisted. It's a long-range shot. It just beats him. That really sucks. Jakub Dobeš is going to want that one back. Yeah, that's really all there is to say. It just sucked. Dobeš gets shoved by Kucherov and Hagel. Everyone comes in to defend the goalie. This is right after the goal, by the way. It's not like on the next play. No, this is right after the goal is scored. Kucherov comes over. He and Dobeš shove each other. Hagel then shoves Dobeš. We get a little bit of a scrum. Everybody's wondering why the hell they're going after Dobeš. And bunch of just dumb fucks on Tampa. And we end up going 4-on-4. So Dobeš with his second penalty of the night, strangely enough. Both he and Chernak, for some reason, get called for unsportsmanlike. Why Chernak and not Hagel and Kucherov? Well, because you can't give penalties to the superstars. It's going to hurt the team. You don't want to hurt Tampa, right? The Lightning press. Demidov ends up on a break. It's a good pass to him, and the shot is saved. Damn it. Xhekaj with a hard hit at center. Habs press. Dach tries to find Texier in the circle. Dach then gets shoved from behind by Carlisle. There's no call. This is all while Xhekaj and Lilleberg are engaged in the corner. Demidov gets called for a high stick halfway through the period. Evans has a good stick. Oh my god, wait, what? Demidov is called for a high stick halfway through the period. Okay. I put that so casually. I didn't put Habs to the penalty kill or anything. I gotta get used to my structure. Evans has a good stick on a pass to Gensel. Habs clear after some more sticks stop a point slot chance, and that's really all Tampa would get. Habs are 3 for 4 on the penalty kill. Habs cycle. There's some good stuff there. Right in front, Dach has a shot that's saved. Damn it. Dach is playing very well. Dach just can't get rewarded, unfortunately. Xhekaj with a nice hard hit. He passes to Dach. Throws it on the net. Kirby Dach, 2-point game. Kirby Dach with his first overall playoff goal with the Canadiens. I think he had 3, if I remember correctly, with the Blackhawks. Kirby Dach makes the game a 2-2 tie. He gets the goal. Just kind of squeaks through Vasilevsky's 5-hole as it deflects off of Ryan McDonough. You'll love to see it. The Canadiens tie the game up. Dach scores from Xhekaj. Xhekaj with his first career Stanley Cup playoff point. Absolutely love to see it. Arbor with a playoff point. Docker, after what happened in Game 2, has points on both of the Canadiens' goals. God damn it. So glad Marty put trust in him and did not scratch him. That is seriously awesome. The Canadiens tie the game up with 7:17 left in the second. And then they go to the power play at 5:55. Hagel gets called for a hold. Oh my god, you're actually giving a superstar a penalty. My goodness. There's a screen by Suzuki on a slap shot, but that ends up getting held by Vasilevsky. Habs do control. Demidov has a one-timer saved. There's another shot wide. Lightning clear in the final seconds. Habs are 0 for 2 in the power play. Then they go right back to the penalty. After that one expires, it's 9 seconds later with 3:46 left. Lilleberg gets called for a hook. Habs need to push. That penalty comes after a new hook look right in front, bars. Habs do press on the power play. Lightning clear. Hagel gives a puck away. Slav comes in. He does get covered. Suzuki goes across to Cole, but on the one-timer, he just fans on a bouncing puck. Second unit comes out. Texier's stick breaks on a pass, but nice job to not panic. Ends up kicking it away. Bolduc has a chance, but that gets saved. Habs 0 for 3 on the power play. And then they take another penalty. That's right. Anderson's helmet gets ripped off. That goes uncalled. But Evans eats a cross-check right to the chin by Darren Radish. That does get called, and unfortunately, it is only 2, not 4. Thankfully, not enough to get a 5. It's not a super vicious one, but it's just, clearly one of those where you're interfering with the guy. So, either way, Habs do get a power play with just about a minute left in the, with 31 seconds left in the second period. Where am I? Habs need one, I thought. The Habs do try to press. Demidov has a shot saved. Habs come out of the zone. They get back in quickly. Demidov has a shot, but that gets held. Habs have a minute and a half of power play time to start the third. Shots are 20-13 for the Canadiens. And it's a 2-2 tie game. That's right, the Canadiens really not letting the Lightning get many shots. Dobeš was not busy for large portions of that second period. The Lightning had a flurry early on. Hagel scored, and then there was I think another shift or two after that where they played well. And then after that, it was the Montreal show. It really was a Montreal Canadiens game, almost running away with it at that point. The Canadiens should have probably been up 3-4-2 by now. They should not have been tied going into the third period. Vasilevsky just played very well, and also the Canadiens just could not finish at this point in the game. Will they be able to in the third? Well, let's find out. In the third period, the Habs set up early. Slav tries to find Hutson, but that doesn't go anywhere. The second unit then come out. Matheson has a turnover, but that gets cleared. Habs are 0 for 4 on the power play. That's right, a power play that was phenomenal in the first two games in Tampa Bay suddenly turns to mush in Montreal. You make it make sense, because I sure as hell can't. The Lightning ice a puck after an Evans shot is saved. Dobeš with a nice save on a Goncalves shot. The first one he's faced in what I thought at that point was about 10 minutes. Probably close to that. Dobeš was not busy, especially in the later half of that second period. Caulfield off a bobble. He gets on a break, but the shot gets saved. Damn it. Cole Caulfield, who up until I think this point, when he gets that breakaway, he had 0 shots in the game, which firstly, just insane, but secondly, the Lightning played a very good game with that top line. They were always sending Cirelli out to take care of Suzuki. The top line were given nothing tonight almost, which is good for the Canadiens because it gives the depth of time to shine, So that's always nice at the very least, and thankfully the Canadiens, it seems, have the depth to keep games close at the very least, not running away with any games, which might be a problem when you get to the second or third round, but you know what? Canadiens right now, I think we're just happy to hopefully get out of the first round this year. I think that's what we'd want, just, And then if we face Boston, which, that's not happening, but if whoever we face in the second round, we'll say that. Whoever we face in the second round, just hope, maybe. Just hope. So yeah, the Lightning pressed off another Matheson giveaway. Dobeš makes a save on Kucherov. Evans gets taken down by Radis as he tries to get one to the net. Demidov ends up poking one. He eats an elbow by James, and there's no call. Props to Demidov, who doesn't flail his arms in the air, cover his face, and try to sell the call. Just eats it, head back, but keeps skating through, trying to get a breakaway. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. You just keep playing. Love to see that. Jack-Eye, while the Habs are in a cycle, he has a shot, but that doesn't get through traffic, unfortunately. Habs are slowly getting momentum, as if the holding Tampa to 2 shots in about 15 minutes wasn't getting momentum. It really did feel like the game was starting to shift at this stage, though. The Lightning barely get away with too many men. Little bit surprised they didn't call that, but then again, it's Tampa Bay. Are we really surprised that they aren't drawing penalties? Or they aren't getting calls, which, I mean, come on. Habs then get called for an icing about 10 seconds later. You love to see it. Kucherov takes her on a Carrier. He misses, and down goes Lafemme Nikita. A shame that the penalty box door wasn't slightly opened there. Kucherov looks like he hit his head against the glass of the penalty box, but unfortunately would stay in the game. Lightning are called for an icing at 7 minutes. A little bit of the wave going on for the Canadiens, from the Canadiens fan base. Wouldn't last too long, but it was just a little bit of a wave, a teaser of the wave. Very much a teaser. I should see that in Game 4, assuming we can somehow get up more than a goal in this series, because it seems like every game is going to go to overtime. God, please no. Evans then gets hit hard by Carlisle. Anderson with a high stick on Carlisle. And god damn it, I hate to say this, because Andy's had a great first 2 games, but Anderson, why the fuck is your stick that high when you're entering the zone? You gotta be able to control your stick there. And yeah, the refs, interestingly enough, call a 5-minute major, but it's basically immediately said, yeah, it's just for the purpose of reviewing it, which, yeah, it is, because it does not take long. Number 17, 2-minute minor, high sticking. Yeah. Which, you know what? I honestly don't mind that. I'd rather give the 5, review it, and bring it down to a 2, rather than just call the 2 and and have the fans saying in the morning, hey, that was a blatant high stick to the face, that should have been 5 in a game. I'd much rather you just be safe than sorry, type deal. Especially if I'm a Habs fan, I'd much rather they call a 5 and look at it rather than call a 5 and then it turns out he was just dumb coming into the zone. So yeah, thankfully they looked at it. Evans has a clear off the draw. Evans finds Newhook. There's a near break. Newhook goes 1-on-1. He finds Danault. Good job just killing time. Perry eventually finds Goncalves. Dobesh stands tall. A great save. He comes way out to make it. Gooley with a partial block there. After it goes off Dobesh, it's deflected out of play. Matheson around the boards, and Carrier gets a clear. The Habs are 4 for 5 on the penalty kill tonight. A great penalty kill for the Montreal Canadiens. With how many were taken, especially, completely fine. And speaking of fine, Anderson found out of the box. He gets on a breakaway, and Vassy makes the save. Damn it. Hutson with some nice foot speed. He ends up getting behind the Tampa net. Tries to find Anderson, but the pass gets deflected out of the zone. Off a turnover, Gensel ends up hitting the post. Jesus. The Lightning go to work, but not for long. Habs with some good sticks to break up any looks there. Jacka has a shot, but that's deflected right in front. Chernak then hits a post, off a post by Hagel. I don't know what I mean by Chernak off a post by Hagel shot. I don't know what I meant by that, but I think I meant Chernak hit the post after a Hagel shot, maybe? See, this is the thing that sucks about playoffs. I'm in such a rush to take my notes that I say stuff like that and then have no clue what the hell I meant. There is a good save by Dobesh, though, either way with the glove save. With the glove hand, I should say. Habs do press. Hutson with a nice spin. Dach and Texier, again, some chemistry. They were playing very well tonight. Again, that entire line, Bolduc, Texier, and Dach, very, very good together. Hopefully they keep it up in Game 4. Jack-Eye with a huge hit on Perry behind the net. And here we go. We get a brawl. Lilleberg shoves Anderson on top of Dobesh, trying to injure the Canadiens goaltender. We get some pairing. So firstly, Jack-Eye and Perry are behind the net. Danault and Girgensons end up wrestling each other. Anderson and Sabrin want to go, but the refs are right in between them. They're saving Sabrin's bacon there. Lilleberg immediately turtled on Arbor Jack-Eye, by the way. As soon as Anderson was shoved into Dobesh, Jack-Eye grabs Lilleberg, drags him out of the pile, and Lilleberg just covers up like the little bitch that he is. Honestly, you love to see it. You love to see it. How much of a bitch the Lightning are when it comes time to answer the bell. Girgensons also gave Danault a forearm while they were down. Danault defenseless, naturally. Why would there be a penalty there? Girgensons is in his legal right to do that, obviously. So it turns out the penalties. Jack-Eye, Danault, Girgensons, and Lilleberg all called 2 for roughing. No extra, no Habs power play. Nothing for Lilleberg for shoving Andy into Dobesh. Nothing for Girgensons giving a forearm to Phil Danault's face. This is, by the way, the second time someone was bleeding from the bridge of their nose, because Danault had to go serve his penalty, but he was on the bench getting his nose cleaned up. Eventually he would and go serve his penalty, but it took a couple minutes, also because there was blood on the ice that they were scraping up. But, yeah, so out of all that, it stays 5-on-5. Hagel gets hit by Struble. They were talking while the penalties were getting sorted out. It took a couple minutes to get the penalties all arranged. But yeah, Struble and Hagel were talking with each other, and I just wanted Hagel to get so goddamn cocky that he would want to fight Jaden Struble, because Struble would have made Hagel go to bed for the rest of the night. That would have been some great shit right there. That hit, by the way, comes after a little bit of sloppy back and forth at center for both teams. Demidov gets tripped up on a dangling play. Why would there be a penalty? And then a puck hits Chris Rooney. Love to see it. Unfortunately, he looked fine. Anderson then knocks down Kucherov. Chernak then hits Anderson from behind. Why would there be a penalty? In the final seconds, Suzuki has a shot on a rebound. Hutson also gets saved. We are going into overtime. That is right. For the third time in the series, the Montreal Canadiens and the Tampa Bay Lightning are headed to overtime. The shots, get this, 28-17 for the Montreal Canadiens. That is right. They only outshoot the Lightning 8-4 in that period. But we are the fact that we are massively outshooting the Tampa Bay Lightning, not by a little bit, not by, one or two shots, by a lot. We are outshooting them, 11 shots. 11 shots. And the fact that there are Tampa fans who think that is completely acceptable. My God. Alright, so we head to overtime. And I'll admit, I didn't take many notes, mostly because I was so goddamn stressed out watching this overtime, and again, stressed out in probably the best way possible. But the Slavkovsky, there's a steal. He tries to find Caulfield, but Chernak ends up breaking that up. A very good stick there. The Lightning try to break out. They're not able to. Texier steals from behind the net. He has some good shit. Sets up Hutson with a slap shot. And the Bell Center erupts. They just replaced the roof. And god damn it, they've got to replace it again. Lane Hutson. Wayne Hutson. Excuse you me. Wayne Hutson with a slapper. Probably his first of the year, he was joking about in the post-game. Slaps it home. Top shelf. Top titty, as Biz Nasty would say. 3-2 Habs win it. Just 2 minutes and 9 seconds into the overtime. Hutson with his second of the playoffs. He scores from Texier and Bolduc. So which line generates all three goals? The fourth line for the Canadiens. That's right. Texier, Bolduc, and Dach. They're looking pretty damn good in my opinion. So yeah, just insane that the Canadiens firstly split the games in Tampa, and it does not take long. In either overtime, they win. Lane Hutson, just a beauty of a shot. Vasi doesn't have a chance, doesn't see it whatsoever. And the Montreal Canadiens take a 2-1 series lead. Game 4 on Sunday, baby. Final shots, 29-17 for the Habs. That is right. These shots, 1-0 in overtime. The only shot that matters, the only shot, period, comes for the Montreal Canadiens. They have a chance. I don't know if it's going to happen, but they have a chance on Sunday to go up 3-1 on the Tampa Bay Lightning, which I get. It's the 2020s Tampa Bay Lightning not playing in a Mickey Mouse Stanley Cup final, so they're weak. But still, to be the team to potentially eliminate the Tampa Bay Lightning, whew, you guys better know that's gonna feel so damn good. So Lane Hutson, Scores, shout out Texier and Bolduc with the assist on that one. Again, the fourth line, just a fantastic night there. That does it for the game recap. We're going to get into the stats, and then we're going to work our way on out of here. Obviously, you guys know the drill by now. So, who is it? Come on. Juraj Slafkovsky. He leads the Canadiens with 3 goals. Lane Hutson, 2 goals and an assist for 3 points. Nick Suzuki and Cole Caulfield, each with 3 assists. Josh Anderson with 2 goals. Kirby Dach and Alexander Texier, each with a goal and an assist. Zach Bolduc with 2 assists. Alex Carrier, Mike Matheson, Ivan Demidov, Phil Deneau, Jake Evans, and Arbor Jacki, all with an assist this year. Probably the only time that Ivan Demidov and Arbor Jacki will ever be on the same level. Juraj Slafkovsky, surprisingly, leads the Canadiens with a fight. Nobody else has one. Not yet. Jacki, he's wanting one. He wanted Sabrin. He wanted Lilleberg tonight. Neither of them stood up because why would they? They don't want to get their faces pounded in. And, of course, in terms of goaltenders, Jakub Dobesh, he's got a 2-0-1 record, a 2.45 goals against average, and an .892 save percentage. Again, didn't face many shots tonight. Really hasn't faced many shots in any of the 3 games, aside from Game 2 in overtime. Just not playing, not getting shots faced to up that save percentage, which you could argue is a good thing because he's still making some pretty good saves. There's just the occasional goal that just gets through because the Canadiens let the other team score. I imagine that save percentage should be at a 900 by the end of the series. Fingers crossed. So yeah, that is going to do it for this episode of the HabWrap. Thank you all so much for watching. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you're on YouTube. Hit the follow button if you're on Spotify, Amazon, wherever you might be listening to the podcast on. And, of course, please do not forget to share the podcast with anybody who you think might enjoy it, such as a fellow Montreal Canadiens fan, a hockey fan who's maybe looking for a Montreal Canadiens podcast to listen to, or someone who you think just might enjoy listening to some fat kid from Quebec talk about the Montreal Canadiens for 30 to 40 minutes after every game. That is again going to do it for this episode of the HabWrap. Thank you all again so much for watching. My name is Harry Rice, and always remember, no matter how good we are like last year, how great we are like this year, or how fantastic we'll be in the future, go Habs go, Allez Montreal, and say with me everybody, C'est la boo!